Major news. After days on razor's edge, Ukraine is now a nation at war.
Move came after previously announcing sweeping economic sanctions on Russia.
As Russia contemplates its next move, we have our next move prepared as well.
The person you speak to says, I'm ready to fight, I'm ready to defend my country.
This state of emergency is not over.
If you are involved in this protest, we will actively look to identify you and follow up with financial sanctions and criminal charges.
We've been living through some very strange times recently, both in the cryptocurrency world and on a macroeconomic scale. In fact, sentiment hasn't been this bad in a very long time. We've got stocks being hammered, cryptocurrency heavily down, inflation fears, Fed fears, war fears, and even recession fears. So it's normal if you're feeling a little uncertain in these unstable waters, but I'm here today to break it down for you and to help ease your fears. I'm your host, Crypto Megan. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you won't miss out on any important information like the video we're about to do today. The narrative that's been driving the market recently, and all of the hype on how markets have been going and why people are so fearful, and the method of control through the media, has been the pandemic. I cannot refer to by name. That is what's been driving the negative sentiment as of late, and that has been now added to many more factors that are stirring the macroeconomic pot, as well as having a heavy effect on crypto. One of those, of course, is the inflation and the problem that the Fed has encountered, kind of in a rock in a hard place, so to speak, in a never-ending crisis where raising rates can crash the economy while printing more money, and lowering rates can cause hyperinflation. That, coupled together with the fact that currencies historically, on average, have reigned over a span of 100 years, the US dollar is a ticking time bomb. That is very interesting and will have a lot to do with how this all pans out. And then we got Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in Canada, who vowed to invoke the Federal Emergency Act, meaning they can act without it being approved in the court of law, to freeze all bank accounts of truckers and anyone in support of the protesters against the vaccine mandate that are connected to this so-called Freedom Convoy.
Justin Trudeau is not done going after the Canadian truckers, even though the police broke up the convoy and arrested nearly 200 protesters this weekend. Ottawa's police chief says they will track down and punish anyone who is involved in the protest.
If you are involved in this protest, we will actively look to identify you and follow up with financial sanctions and criminal charges. Absolutely. This investigation will go on for months to come.
And truckers who have not been arrested are dealing with the fallout of frozen bank accounts and seized assets.
They've taken my truck. I don't know where it is. On Friday, they locked up my personal and trucking business accounts. And also we have another business and they locked that account up too. And it had nothing to do with it.
Even a single mother with a low income who has donated $50 to the cause has had her bank account frozen, and people are very concerned. Ironically, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in Canada says that he is doing this to restore faith in Canada's governmental authority and financial institutions, and yet it is causing quite the opposite reaction. In fact, more people than ever are looking to Bitcoin as a way to have sovereignty over their own money, and getting more interested than ever in how Bitcoin works. Prime Minister Trudeau's actions actually caused a bank run, meaning people went to the bank in masses to get their cash out, and they were unable to. Banks were unable to supply the demand, and they shut down for an extended period of time. This is very concerning, and people are starting to realize now more than ever that they need to find a way to have sovereignty over their money. On the US front, we've had President Biden issue an executive order to crypto regulation. And this has sparked a lot of controversy, a lot of panic, but at the same time, some people are welcoming this regulation as a way to legitimize the industry. Regardless of how it affects the industry, this announcement of an announcement has affected the market in a negative way as well, just to add to the negative sentiment around us. And lastly, we've got fear of war.
Major news. After days on the razor's edge, Ukraine is now a nation at war. Just hours ago, Russian forces began their attack. President Vladimir Putin warning other countries that any attempt to interfere with the Russian action will lead to, quote, consequences they have never seen.
As it started with rumors of Russian invasion in Ukraine, then President Putin reported that he had pulled back some troops from the border, and now he has officially announced that he is sending Russian troops to rebel regions within Ukraine. How far will Russia go? Time will tell. But how is this going to affect you? As a result of this looming Russian invasion, there has been news reported that Ukrainians have been crowdsourcing Bitcoin for the last few months as a way of funding volunteers to help. Although these are extremely unfortunate circumstances, the need for cryptocurrency is growing stronger and stronger due to the unstable state of the economy and also the world. There's been a lot of talk circulating as to why, if Bitcoin is such a safe haven, is the price going down while the value of gold is going up? And there's one simple reason for this. We are still so early that Bitcoin is not immune to all of the risk on assets, and they are all being affected in the same way. And since we do not have that kind of adoption yet, it is still subject to the manipulation of the broader markets. The fact of the matter remains that these are man-made crises. These have nothing to do with the fundamentals of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and on-chain analytics, which are more bullish than ever. The macro climate is a more bullish environment than it ever has been for the adoption and use case of cryptocurrency, and for people to take sovereignty over their own money and be their own bank, as the creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto himself, envisioned. Right around the time when people start to wonder if Bitcoin will even survive, they have so much fear, they think it's going to zero, is historically an excellent opportunity to start averaging in, dollar cost averaging in. This is not financial advice, so do your own research, but I'm telling you what I am doing and how I am planning on playing these markets. Sometimes things have to get worse before they can get better. And just know that with all of this turmoil, chaos, and fear comes great opportunity. We just have to prepare ourselves and start informing ourselves and educating ourselves before that time comes. And I want you to know that I will be here with you and for you during this fear to ease your nerves and to help you navigate these waters as we set sail on one of the most important revolutions of our lifetime. Remember, if you want to take your crypto investing to the next level, sign up to my private Patreon members group right now, educate yourself, and get access to all of my research, all of my data, the top portfolio picks of crypto and NFTs in my portfolio, as well as passive income opportunities, tutorials, and so much more. And that's it for now. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode.